All right, guys, it's your segment here. It is 4 tips with clips. Happy to bring this to you again this week. You know what I do here? 2 good ones, 2 bad ones, all for something we can learn from here. Before I jump into the 4 tips with clips for this segment, guys, definitely subscribe to the channel right now. If you're a defensive back, this is the place to be. You want to learn the game, this is the place to be. If you're subscribing to anything on YouTube and you're a defensive back, this is it. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, as well as the bell so you're notified the next time I put out an awesome DB video like this one. Also, if you're trying to take your game to the elite level, you owe it to yourself to check out the All Eyes DB Camp members area. It is the best investment you'll ever make. Over 200 videos with tips, tricks, drills, coverage explanations, coverage analyzations, all kinds of stuff that you need to raise your game to the absolute tippy top. I'll have a link to it in the description here. Go ahead, click that, check it out. Only check it out if you want to be the best DB that you can be. All right, let's jump into the tips. This one from last Sunday's game. It is Kansas City versus Arizona. I might know the DB in this play. He's my son, Marco Wilson. Just wanted to show you guys this and point out some of the things that happens a lot with DBs and where Marco went right in this one as opposed to what I see a lot of DBs do, and explain to you how it changes things for the offense and the receiver and the quarterback and all that good stuff. Right here is playing catch technique on the goal line. What I see a lot of guys do in this situation is back themselves up into the end zone. They'll give space here, and that makes it a whole lot easier deal for the wide receiver and the quarterback in plays like this. And I saw it a number of times during the games on both Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to tell you what Marco did really well here. So you're going to notice he's holding his ground here, something that I really preach in catch technique. He starts off heels on the goal line, and it ends up right here, heels on the goal line. See, he's working this line right here. Working this line right here. This receiver is going to have to exit wide, right or left, depending on where it is this route needs to end up. He's not giving him space to really accelerate and get into his route. So by Marco holding his line right here, it changes the shape of this route. I'm going to show you how. First of all, it does a good job of making contact. You see, this receiver is probably expecting him to go back into the end zone. He's expecting him to do that. When he doesn't, it surprises him. He gets a little too close. Now Marco can get hands on him within the legal zone. All right, absorb the contact, and now it flattens this route out. Okay, flattens this route out. Pretty sure this route needed to go here, a corner route. By him holding his ground right here at the goal line, it flattened the route out right here and changed the type of throw that needed to be made. Makes the contact, flattens the route out, and now that he realizes it's breaking out, does a really good job of cutting under because we knows they're running out of space here. So I've got the ability now, because of the spacing, to get up under this and perhaps make a really big play on it. And so he undercuts it, ball's coming, and he puts himself in a good position. All right. Only negative I say here is he didn't close the play out and get an interception. When you're down here in the red zone, it is really big if you can go turn the ball over right here. You take away a chance at 7 and 3. Any points. It's a big, big play for your team. So you got to close this out and finish. But this is an excellent job of holding your ground in catch technique, playing with courage, making contact, changing the shape of the route. Okay? So I'm going to show you something. If this route, if he had backed out into the end zone, that would have allowed this route to go back here. All right, making it a little bit of an easier throw to the back pylon where the quarterback could put the ball where the cornerback would have a hard time of getting to it. All right, so really, really good job with doing that there. And, of course, everything that I said before about needing to turn that ball over, that would have been a big play for them because the Chiefs were all over the Cardinals in this particular game. So you needed to get on top of that one. Next one. All right, this is one that's not so good of a rep. All right, this is a diamond release that you'll see by wide receivers. I'm going to show you where the cornerback went wrong in this one. A lot of guys do this, and it's tough. This is easier said than done. This falls under the category of one of those things that are easier said than done. But here we have the cornerback. There's an immediate outside release with speed by the wide receiver. The reason he's, first of all, able to get off with that kind of speed is because the DB is giving ground. Okay, this just may indeed be the technique. I'm not going to criticize that. Sometimes you play a guy with hard press. Sometimes you're playing with soft press. It's not the issue. What happens here is that he opened up right away. Okay, first of all, this receiver is not really outside of his frame, so he needed to kick slide right here. By kick slide, I mean keep your feet apart as you slide outside and try to determine what this receiver's release is. Is he really trying to go outside? And also, if he is really trying to go outside, force him wider. If he goes wider on this release, it becomes harder, change the shape of the route as he tries to come back in, and you're going to see what happens here, right? Because he didn't kick slide and he's already crossing over, you see those hips opening a little too much. This is too much for your hips to open. This guy has not threatened you enough outside or vertically for you to open those hips and run like that. You're trying to run what you believe is a deep route without it really showing itself. It's a little too early to be opening up. Now he's crossed over. How do you get out of this situation right here? There's only one of two ways. That is execute a hip flip, which is going to take a whole bunch of steps. It's going to put you behind. Or do a speed turn, which causes you to momentarily lose sight of the receiver. And the way they do these diamond releases is they vertically test you here, then they come a little flat underneath. So if you are making that speed turn, it's going to be hard for you to get back on the hip to stop the throw. You see how the receiver flattened it out after he threatened you vertically outside. He's going to flatten it, making it difficult for you to get back in it on a speed release, which is what a lot of guys opt for, especially if you open too soon. All right, guys, you got to kick slide on this. Even if you're, playing soft press, you soft pedal out, then try to get a kick or two in, make him declare what it is. All right, if you give him that kick here, he'd have to go too far in his vertical test before coming underneath. Quarterback would be ready to throw the ball, and you're not out of the break, or it's a little too deep. Everything gets screwed up if you're just a little more patient as the DB. That's what I would have liked to have seen here. Our next clip is a really, really good one. All right, this is a dig route being run by the receiver in here, and we're going to see Marshon Lattimore really, he's not on the receiver. He doesn't get hands on him on the line of scrimmage. And if you played cornerback, you know this sometimes will happen. Don't listen to all the casual fans out there to tell you, oh, he didn't get hands on him. It's easier said than done. Sometimes you won't get hands on a guy. But you've got to be able to know what to do when that doesn't happen. When the hands-on doesn't happen. Watch how he latches onto his hip right here first. Latches onto the hip. That's first. Second, matches his hips up the field. All right, receiver's hips are facing up the field. He's working to get his hips up the field. So he's matching his hips. And then right off the break, all right, right off the break, he accelerates, believes what he sees, accelerates on that. Let me run that back. All right, doesn't get the jam, latches on, gets vertical, matches his hips, and accelerates into his hands. Violent with the hands through, okay? You don't notice with his off arm that he's trying to bat this ball down with, that he's not swinging the hand like it's a bat. He's sticking his hand in the basket, digging his hand in the basket. You've got to dig that hand in the basket, leave it there, and that will result in the ball hitting your hand or your hand hitting his hands and getting the ball out of there. Don't swing your hands in there, guys. I have a nice little video on this channel about how to break up a pass, and that's part of it. Excellent job here. And then the final part, this is for my safeties out here. This is red 2, all right? This is cover 2 in the red zone. When things get a little short, it's a little more difficult sometimes to work this, all right? But here's a mistake that's made here. This is sometimes when you're too smart for your own good. I want to isolate this guy right here. All right, this is Devante Adams when he was a Packer. And obviously, this is the guy you're going to want to have your focus on. This is Aaron Rodgers' guy. This is the guy they love in a red zone, playing red too. So this guy is responsible for this deep half. And the problem becomes when he has to cover a corner route. Let me take that off. All right. This corner route is the biggest problem for him because you're not always sure if this corner is going to be able to get back, especially if he's held up right here by this kind of route. So for safeties, it's tough with red 2 if that, if a corner route is run on you. But you can't do what this safety did. He got a little too smart for his own good. See him overplaying his hand here? He is overplaying the out. And when you've got an offense like this that's sophisticated, I'm sure Devante Adams has the ability now to, maybe it was supposed to be a corner route, can now break it to the post, which he does on this play. Know that something is coming, guys, but still play it as honest as you can. Make it hard for them. So what could this safety have done? Instead of running all the way to this outside shoulder, super outside shoulder, come from where he was, and maybe you get a little head up or slightly inside because you do want to protect against this really easy throw. And maybe you settle right here, okay, kind of like we saw Marco in the first video clip of this segment, where you sit right here in the end zone. He can't beat you deep through the back, all right? There's an end line there. That's a defender for you. Get a little inside shade, or at worst head up, sit down, hold your ground, and then try to get up underneath whatever route. What he did here was just really, really overplayed his hand, made it easy. This is the easiest throw Aaron Rodgers has probably ever made in his long, illustrious career. All right, one other thing, though, for these linebackers right here, all right, especially this one. Your eyes are on the quarterback, okay? You can't leave them there, though. Eyes are on the quarterback. You see that it's pass, okay? You get your pass read. Take a peek out here and see what's going on. Take a peek and see what's going on. If you take a peek out here, maybe you do recognize that this guy is running under here, and you can play harder in the curl area, help this safety out. All right, and maybe not make it a line drive throw. I'm going to show you what happens here. See how he's just covering nowhere? See how he's just covering nothing? There's nothing here. He's covering literally nothing. And that's because he froze his eyes on the quarterback. You have to kind of check the routes. You can look at the quarterback, get your read, it's pass, take a peek. All right, if he takes a peek, maybe he notices. Maybe, just maybe he notices this receiver bending inside here, and he can flip underneath. You'd be surprised how many times a quarterback will throw a ball right to your face in that situation. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. 2 good ones, 2 bad ones, all 4 something we could learn from. Again, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're a defensive back or if you just love football. If you love this kind of content, give this video a like, share it if you have social media for some other guys that may need it. And by all means, once again, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And once again, go ahead and check out the All Eyes DB Camp members area so you can play ball at your highest level at that defensive back position. Again, link is in the description. As always, thanks, guys, for checking this stuff out. All Eyes DB Camp.